Hello and welcome to the Cinematic Attic YouTube channel. I'm Mike. How you doing? This is the channel where we love all movies, all genres of film, and all formats of physical media. So if that's okay with you, welcome. Okay, so the collection update this time around, not as huge as last time, um, but I did get some cool stuff. First of all, one of the coolest things to me, uh, you may remember a couple years ago, if you were watching the channel, on my list of my favorite 10 watches of the year, I believe that was for 2023, I talked about this movie called A Great Ride from late 70s, maybe 79-ish, that was only available on VHS. And the VHS copy I had was a cut-up big box, a badly cut-up big box that was shoved in a plastic case for rental. And so I put a search on eBay that's been sitting there for a couple years now, and finally someone had for sale, for a great price too, an intact big box copy of A Great Ride. So now I have an intact big box copy. And if you didn't hear me talk about this film before, it is an insane film. Well, it's half insane. The not so insane part of it is about these two guys who are deciding to go cross country, south to north, on dirt bikes, and their journey of discovering things about themselves and encountering other people. But the insane part is that they're pursued by a guy in a futuristic truck who's out for revenge. We're talking a couple steps down from Knight Rider level truck. So the strange bit of science fiction injected into this otherwise character kind of adventure. But I love this movie. Again, very hard to find. Only available on this VHS. This is it. So even at that, I recommend it if you can somehow find it. But so happy to actually get an intact package. Now, when I ordered that, they threw in another big box VHS for free, but I can tell that they did that because it was moldy. And I happened to look on eBay just to see how much it would cost to replace. And I also looked to see if it was available by some other means, and it's not. Another movie that's VHS only. And I ordered a replacement big box copy for under 20 bucks, so that was fine. This film, Wild Wheels, from Video Gems. So, two big box VHS releases in one month. Cannot complain about that. Obviously, you see me on this channel replacing VHS with discs all the time. But I will buy a VHS if that's the only way to see a film. If you're a true film obsessed person, you should have the ability to watch it however it's available. So if you are, say you're a film fan and you no longer have a VCR, you're not convincing me. So anyway, Wild Wheels. Then, from Film Masters, a Blu-ray of a movie that I've been waiting forever and ever for it to get a great release. This is a great release. This is one that I mentioned in the last video that I was waiting for and for some reason wasn't getting. There was a huge kerfluffle with Movie Zing, which was mostly my fault, but they also never told me that their shipment of this film was oversold and they had to wait for more. Never told me. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And when I finally said something, this could be the fault of my email, but I don't know. It just seems weird that if I email an actual business and they reply to my email with an answer, that it should not go to spam. So after a week of feeling that I'm being ignored and getting even more angry, found out that they were replying after all. But if when this movie was street date was back in December, and it's a month later, and you haven't shipped it out to people when it says on your website that it ships no later than the release date, and for those people who ordered it, you don't tell them, hey, there's going to be a delay, which I'm fine with. Just tell me. Then that's also on you too. So anyway, the movie in question, enough belly aching. Ginger in the Morning. By the way, just to complete that story, I canceled my order with Movie Zing because they just ticked me off. And I got this from Amazon overnight. Anyway, this movie, fantastic film, Sissy Spacek, Ginger in the Morning. I've loved this movie for, well, at this point, decades. I've had a couple of public domain kind of releases of this that were in full screen. And here, finally, is a nice widescreen edition. More on this later. From Imprint. This came out a little while ago. So I was kind of surprised when I went to look for it that you could still get a copy for a reasonable price from a seller, in this case on eBay. But TV Movie of the Week Collection #1. I initially didn't order this because I already have Scream Pretty Peggy. But it does have some different special features. And if for some reason I thought I might have had Baffled, but I didn't. So, considering I want to get collection #2, and I've already ordered it actually, I went ahead and ordered this to get these two TV movies. Those of you who have been watching a long time know I love TV movies, movie of the week kind of stuff. So this was kind of like made for me, even though I already have this one. So, hey, went ahead and ordered this for a good price. Looking forward to getting the second volume as well. Just in case you're curious, here's the covers of the movie inside. The Deadly Dream, Lloyd Bridges, Janet Leigh. Baffled with Leonard Nimoy. And the aforementioned Scream Pretty Peggy with Bette Davis. Next, some television. Speaking of TV, from movies to TV shows, to free up some shelf space, because I had this whole series on VHS, The Prisoner. And I didn't get one of the new Blu-ray boxes. I didn't need that. I just needed to have it on disc and in a package that will save shelf space. So I got this collection of the series. I've seen this series, actually, I've seen all these episodes more than once. Some of them more than twice. Excellent, amazing science fiction series with Patrick McGoohan. If you've never seen this, if you've heard about this, do not delay. Check it out. Along with that, to save some more shelf space, I also ordered the entire series of the cartoon Robotech, which is one of the many cartoons I grew up watching. So this is the full TV series of Macross, Masters, and New Generation, plus a whole bunch of extra stuff. So, in buying this Prisoner set and this Robotech set, I can now eliminate all of these things, as well as Robotech 2, the Sentinels VHS movie that is on here. So, yeah, saved a few feet of shelf space because I didn't have the entire series of Robotech, but I had a lot of it on VHS. A lot of those 2-episode VHS tapes. Yeah, so got those. Next up, from Severin. The only thing I got from Severin was not a new release. This is an older release that I got because I thought I already had it. The Uncanny. I thought I already watched this movie. But I had done neither. So I bought it and watched it just to correct that in my brain, or to make that correct in my brain. But yep, The Uncanny. An older release from Scream Factory to upgrade a full screen DVD. I'm doing a lot of that. Actually, the end is in sight. I still have a pile of, I don't know, roughly 40 or so films that I need to upgrade. That the DVDs I have are full screen, and there's widescreen editions out there to replace. There's about 40 titles yet I need to do that with. So the end is in sight. From there, it'll just be any new ones that come up. But this is one of them, The Manster. Another full screen DVD upgrade from Scorpion. We have Lady Ice. Couple more Scorpion DVDs. Upgrading full screen DVDs. I got this double feature. I think I got for this film. But, you know, I got a bonus movie in getting this. But just getting a widescreen edition of one of these films. Same here with this film. I believe the last film Mae West is in. And this is from 1978. A film that, you know, film fans, you've all heard of this movie, but have you seen it? That's a question. It was recently put out in an easily accessible edition. I think actually more than one edition, but I went for the complete, or a complete, yet not expensive edition of Caligula. Still haven't watched it, but it's one of those movies that I've heard about for decades, and just finally decided to get it since this was out from Draft House and Unobstructed View. Couple bootlegs. Again, upgrading full screen DVDs. First one here we have is Hercules Unchained, a very easy to find movie with Steve Reeves. But if you find this movie likely in a public domain kind of edition, it's going to be full screen. And here we see widescreen. Obviously, it is a bootleg, but it's widescreen and it looks fine. The other bootleg is not only a full screen DVD upgrade, but it's also an uncut version. Here we have the movie from roughly around 1980, Virus. I know there are many films with the title Virus, but this is one with Glenn Ford, Robert Vaughn, Olivia Hussey, George Kennedy, Bo Svensson, Henry Silva, and Chuck Connors, all-star cast. I think it's a co-Japanese production. The theatrical version that you can find easily in full screen and public domain sets is, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half or a little more. This is somewhere closer to 2.5 hours, maybe a little more. I don't remember. But this is uncut. It's a great movie. I know I saw the cut version years ago and it didn't leave much of an impression. I watched this when I got it because it's uncut, and I wanted to, instead of just trying to figure out what scenes I hadn't seen before, I just watched the whole thing through. And it's actually a good movie. So maybe the cut makes a difference, but then again, my memory, I can't really compare relying on my memory. But it is widescreen, which is what I was looking for. It's uncut. And this, even though it looks like a DVD, it is a Blu-ray. The eBay site, the eBay seller I got this from, you could get a DVD copy, but they had a Blu-ray copy too, so I went for that. Upgrading another full screen DVD, although I'm going to have to definitely not get rid of that one. And speaking of Virus, let me back up a second. I do have that on a full screen DVD of the alternate shorter cut, which I'm keeping, but for some reason I'd never gotten rid of the VHS of that cut, so I'm getting rid of that too. But another full screen DVD upgrade is this film. which and it's like Anthar the Invincible, sold in packaged in the U.S. as one of the Hercules or Sons of Hercules films. I forget the title. I ordered this through eBay, and I did have to import it, but it was coming from a company called Cult Media. Says it clearly right there, Cult Media, in English, which I say because this Blu-ray is not in English in any way, shape, or form. The audio, the subtitles, all Italian, which is the original language of the film. And if it's the only way to get this in widescreen is to get it in Italian completely, then okay, I'll own that. That's fine. But it was a little infuriating when I ordered from a release company called Cult Media, clearly English words, and it's not in English at all. That just seemed a little strange. But, I guess my fault for not double checking the audio and subtitles. Oh well. But, I'll watch the full screen copy just to see what's going on, and then I'll look at this to see it in beautiful widescreen. Hey. Anyway, got that. From Twilight Time, an older release, Venom, also known as The Legend of Spider Forest, and I think Spider's Venom, something like that. Upgrading a full screen DVD with this. Another full screen DVD upgrade with this somewhat gray market edition. I've gotten I think it's Real Media, something like that. I've gotten a number of their releases. The Avenger with Steve Reeves, widescreen. I imported this one from Korea, another full screen DVD upgrade of Carthage in Flames. But yeah, a Korean edition there. But does say language English. So at least I'll be able to watch it and follow along. Another full screen DVD upgrade. This one I imported from, I think, Germany or the UK or somewhere like that. Death Dimension with Jim Kelly on Blue. Again, full screen DVD upgrade. Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College. From what I could tell, the only way to get this in widescreen is this, I think, German edition from NSM Records. Anyway, Ghoulies 3. Now this one is not a full screen DVD upgrade because this is still full screen because that's the only way you can get it. But I had thought that the only way to get this film was on VHS. But in watching one of my favorite channels on YouTube, Just the Discs, I saw that there's actually a DVD edition from probably from the UK or somewhere. Knights of the City. Very fun movie, which will pop up again on a future episode for a specific reason. But it does upgrade my VHS. Another full screen DVD upgrade from VCI, actually. A not very cheap out of print DVD of The Demon with Cameron Mitchell. You can see here uncut wide screen version. So getting that in widescreen. From Wild East, a label that I don't have much from. I think I just have a trailer compilation that they put out. But this is a great label for people looking for spaghetti westerns. Here, getting It Can Be Done, Amigo in widescreen to replace my full screen DVD. I know this is a great company that you can go to get lots of spaghetti westerns and other assorted things, but be warned, a lot of them are out of print and not cheap. This one I've had in my Amazon wish list cart forever, and the price suddenly dropped substantially. So I jumped on it from Mondo Macabro, Hunting Ground. This looked like a film I'd be interested in, a revenge film. Um, so I grabbed that while it was cheaper. A few from Kino Lorber. This is a newer release, Rage of Honor with Sho Kosugi. Got this to upgrade VHS. I cut VHS. River of Death on DVD, upgrading a full screen DVD. Got some Dudikoff in there. Upgrading a full screen DVD. Miracle Mile on Blu-ray. Another full screen DVD upgrade. The Chain Reaction from Umbrella, an Australian film. Watched this. This was pretty fun. And blink and you'll miss him. Mel Gibson, before he was big, in a few second cameo as a mechanic. He has like one line, but as soon as I heard his voice, my eyes went right to him, going, "Is that Mel Gibson?" Yep. Check the credits. Absolutely is. From Sandpiper Pictures, another full screen DVD upgrade with Warriors of Virtue. More on the full screen DVD upgrade train we have from MVD Rewind, Liar's Moon. Full screen DVD upgrade with Julie Darling from Code Red. Full screen DVD upgrade from Warner Archive. The Sellout. Then the rest of these are all Full Moon. Now, I'm not, a huge admirer of Full Moon, but they had a sale. And so I took advantage of the sale to upgrade VHS. Now, not with this first one. This first one, which I don't know if it was from the sale. I might have gotten it separate. But this was for a full screen DVD upgrade, though, of a DVD I have of this movie that was presented by William Shatner as a horror host. But to get the movie in widescreen, got Vampire Journals. But the rest of these I know were from the sale. Starting with Dr. Mordred, Master of the Unknown. Upgrading this VHS that is very cut and even missing the back. The Pit and the Pendulum, which might actually be a full screen DVD upgrade, I'm not sure. Either that, it was maybe cheaper than the rest. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, got that. Prehysteria, actually with a slipcover. But this one upgrades the VHS. Dollman, Tim Thomerson. VHS upgrade. And what I like that I always check is to make sure that these all have the old Full Moon Video Zone behind the scenes video magazine on them that you found on the VHS. I always make sure that they're here before I get rid of the VHS, because otherwise I'd have to keep it. But it's all good. Meridian upgrades this VHS. Got Puppet Master 4 and 5, and they upgrade these two VHS. Then upgraded, made sure I had all my Trancers films upgraded. I already have part 3 on Blu-ray, and part 6 is on DVD, and I don't think there's a widescreen edition of that anywhere yet. But I got the rest. Now, the first Trancers I've seen, but I've actually never owned. I was very surprised about that. So I did get the first Trancers on Blue. But I got Trancers 2, and these have Tim Thomerson. And the first two, anyway, have Helen Hunt, before she was big star. So this upgrade, this VHS can be upgraded. Then part 4 and part 5, which I got to upgrade these VHS. And finally, last movie from the Full Moon Sale and last movie to show you here at the beginning of the video, Laser Blast, which will upgrade this VHS that I remember I bought at a yard sale in Baltimore, in Hamden area of Baltimore. But yep, got that on Blue to upgrade the VHS. Here's everything else I picked up from eBay, from Goodwill. This one upgrading VHS. Also from Goodwill, I got this set of family films that are specially produced under this this label. These were all in a bundle for $3, so I said sure. Couple DVD pickups, one of them upgrading VHS from an antique mall. To upgrade a full screen DVD, and a couple of DVDs to be deleted because they've been replaced. From a Goodwill, got some DVDs. This one upgrading a VHS. From a thrift store, got some more DVDs. These two are actually olive releases, so nice find there, $1 each. And this is actually an oscilloscope title. From eBay. From Goodwill. From eBay. Got this double feature to upgrade full screen DVD of that. And I got this DVD to upgrade this VHS. In case you're wondering, this is not widescreen, but this tape is in bad shape, so I just wanted to replace it. From eBay, got some general items to upgrade full screen DVDs, including that one, and a VHS, so those will go away. Just doing some full screen upgrading to widescreen. From Goodwill. From eBay to replace a full screen DVD. From a Goodwill, I got these DVDs. From an antique mall, got some more DVDs. Did get one Blu-ray, and these 3 items actually upgrade VHS. Speaking of VHS, at this particular antique mall, they had a pile of VHS that were not common. And I did my research while I was in the store, and I actually picked up 3 VHS for movies that are not, at least as far as I can tell, on DVD or otherwise. Starting with this one. And yes, I will still buy VHS if that's the only way to get the movie. And we have this one. And this one. From another Goodwill, got some more DVDs. Anchor Bay disc there, Lightning Bug. From eBay, I got this to replace a full screen DVD. So this edition will go away. And from Second and Charles, got Rocket Ship XM. That will upgrade a VHS. Children of the Living Dead, which will upgrade a full screen DVD. And some Romeo and Juliet, Leslie Howard, Norma Shearer, John Barrymore. Got a couple newer big films on 4K and Blu-ray. And while I was at it, I picked this up, In Search of with Leonard Nimoy Complete Collection. But I bought this too soon, because then of course I figured out that there was a bigger set that had all these episodes plus a couple of the specials plus the entire 2002 series with Mitch Pileggi. So to eBay I went, and I also have this even more complete collection. So I'm just keeping both, and I think I'm done being in search of. From eBay, I got these 2 widescreen editions to replace full screen DVDs. Okay, this time around for my entries into the Pantheon, my favorite films of all time. The first thing is this that I just showed, Ginger in the Morning from 1974. This film has always been one of my favorites since I saw it way back in, I don't know, early 2000s on a budget, public domain-ish kind of DVD. And the funny thing about this movie, and I think I even mentioned this in a video years and years ago when I got another DVD copy to replace the first DVD copy, The first DVD copy I got was part of a double feature that you got in on one of those $1 DVDs you could get at Walmart or other discount stores. And the movie was only half there. There was only half the movie on the disc. It was just an error. So, and of course, back when I watched it in the early 2000s, I didn't know how long the movie was. So I figured, oh, maybe the ending just got cut off, but it seemed like I was missing quite a bit. Well, years later, I finally bought a DVD, another DVD copy, just to see. And lo and behold, there was a whole second half of the movie. So I was missing a lot of it. But even from that first viewing where I didn't see the full thing, I knew I loved it. Anyway, so this is a movie about Sissy Spacek playing a free-spirited young hitchhiker who gets picked up by Monty Markham. And he's an older guy. She's obviously a younger girl. But they make a connection, and it's kind of a romantic story. And it has Mark Miller, Fred Ward. And it's just a great little film. This edition from Film Masters, when I saw that they were putting this out, even though it's one of their limited edition archive collection titles, I didn't care what I'd have to do to get it. Fortunately, these archive collection titles have not been so difficult to get. Even after they've been out a while, I've still been able to get them, even though they're supposedly very limited. But I wanted to get this first thing. And like I said, I had at the beginning of this video, I had some issues with that, but I got it. Here it is. This edition, which I highly recommend, comes with a interview with Monty Markham about his memories of the movie. It has a commentary by with C. Courtney Joyner and Amanda Reyes, who's like the guru of TV movies. I recommend her books, her podcast, anything she's doing. Follow her, especially if you like TV movies. But she and Courtney Joyner do a commentary on this, and I still have to listen to that, by the way. I did watch the interview, and it was fun. You have liner notes by Susan King and some trailers. If you like 70s films, if you like Sissy Spacek, if you like TV movies, because it also has a little bit of a TV movie feel, which is probably why Amanda Reyes is on here. If you like, even if you like kind of quirky romantic comedies or quirky characters, this is a great movie to check out. Ginger in the Morning. And it's one that I know a lot of people have not heard of. As far as what else I'm going to talk about in the Pantheon, I picked 3 other titles. You're getting 3 more this time around because I wanted to talk about films that had been eligible, possible contenders for my favorite movie watches of past years that I've been doing these videos that did not make the final cut. Last video when I did my favorite 10 watches of 2024, I talked about the 2 titles that almost made the list. So I wanted to go back and hit upon that. I've been doing this kind of video where I do my favorite 10 watches of the year since 2021. And 2023, the only title that could have made the list but didn't at the time was Krampus, and I already talked about that. 2022, the only one that could have made the list but didn't at the time was Prey, the Predator prequel, but I already talked about that. 2021, though, there were actually 4 movies that ended up on the Pantheon that didn't make the 10 favorite watches of the year list. I talked about one of them, and that was Forces of Nature from 1999. Here's the other 3. Black Dog. Patrick Swayze and Meatloaf. Patrick Swayze plays a truck driver who has to deliver this load. His finances depend on it. But Meatloaf is out there to stop him, which is a funny sentence to say. This is just a cross country catch and pursue and try to take out your opponent kind of movie. Um, and it's just a lot of fun. Randy Travis is also in there. As it says on the back here, it is a blazing. They're blazing a trail of diesel powered destruction. Lots of fun. Directed by Kevin Hooks. Um, if you haven't seen this movie, check it out. It was a great time, and I recommend it. Next up, one that may seem weird to, well, frankly, a lot of you, but I was actually a huge fan of this film, a film that was panned by a lot of people, a lot of critics, and not and considered one of the least of the franchise, and it was in fact the last of the franchise. But I really enjoyed it. I really found some great value in it, and that is The New Mutants. This film is based on it's part of the X-Men films from Fox. It's the last one. It's the one that took forever to come out. It was kind of just released as a footnote, as a let's just get this out there so that it's done kind of film. Based on a young group of characters. And when I was young reading comics, the New Mutants comic book was one of my favorite comic books. And these characters are all characters that I love a lot. So the thought of them coming out in a movie was automatically a great thing for me. Now, I can understand why someone might not be impressed with this movie. But I really just liked the small group of characters learning to get along, learning to solve a problem while they're all in this enclosed space, being this school where they can't really leave. And it's just kind of this contained thing with a bunch of characters with powers. And I just really liked it. I don't know, it could be that, I've just naturally predisposed to like a New Mutants movie. It could be that it hit me just right on the right day, at the right time, in the right mood. But this is one of my favorite movies from the X-Men franchise. And it was good enough to make the Pantheon. One that I recommend, one that I would go back to. And I make no apologies. And the last one for today, from 1985, Smooth Talk. This is the Criterion Blu-ray. This movie is directed by Joyce Chopra. It stars Laura Dern and Treat Williams. Now, I was at first interested in this movie because it is based on a short story by Joyce Carol Oates called Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? Which I read back in college and really enjoyed. If you like that short story, if you've read that short story makes up the last, I don't know, last third of this movie perhaps? The last part of this movie. But it gives a whole lot of setup, a whole lot of character development prior to that to get you to know the characters a little more. The short story was done in such a way that, you didn't need all that, or what you needed you were given, and it was just the point of the story was what you were getting in the story. Here it's expanded, but you still get what happened in the story in here. And the last section of this movie that's taken from the story is actually a very creepy, suspenseful, ominous situation between Treat Williams, who is a handsome young stranger coming to the home of young Laura Dern. What's gonna happen? But leading up to that, you get insight into her life and and her situation and everything that might motivate her to make her choices and that kind of thing. But this movie from Criterion, beautiful looking package here. I was very happy to get after I watched the movie on the Criterion channel for the first time and loved it. But this is one that, the more I thought about it after I watched it, the more I enjoyed it, and it eventually made the Pantheon. So that's the last one I'm going to talk about for today. Let's take a look at some books. So in today's bookshelf, I'm taking a look at a duo of books, two companion volumes, I guess you could say, from the Phantom of the Movies. These are books I just got in the last month. Books that I'm kind of surprised I did not already have. But I read about them referenced in another book that I had picked up, and thought to myself, gee, I should own those. Why don't I own those? I've been aware of the Phantom of the Movies Videoscope magazine. I think I even have an issue somewhere. But just never thought about the fact that there were movie guides. So the first one here, The Phantom's Ultimate Video Guide, is, the kind of book I like. It's kind of a reference book with capsule reviews that you can, pick up. You can look up a movie that you're going to watch, or you can just flip through and read. I love these kind of books. And it covers all sorts of genre cinema, all different categories that I would be interested in, that you might be interested in. Action and horror and thrillers and exploitation and even sagebrush faves, cult westerns. So yeah, lots of good stuff in here. Now, flipping through here, kind of randomly reading some of the reviews, don't always agree with what he writes, but then again, that's bound to happen. But some of them kind of surprised me. Some of the movies he didn't really like, which have become real big cult favorites that seemingly everyone loves. A little strange, but maybe if you asked him today, his opinion would be different. Who knows? But overall, though, viable little, or not so little, book. The Phantom's Ultimate Video Guide. And to go with that, kind of referencing the magazine, you have the Phantom of the Movies Videoscope, which is exactly the same kind of thing. More capsule reviews, more of the same kind of thing. So, if you like these kind of reference books, I'd recommend both of them. And the Phantom of the Movies, the author's name is Joe Kane, for those of you keeping score, wanting to find these. So anyway, yeah, two recent additions to my bookshelf to spotlight on today's episode. So that'll do it this time around. So until next time, everyone, enjoy your movies.